My name is Andrew Thompson. During this fellowship year, I've worked at the Department of State, where I cover a range of issues relating to global drug policy. Today I'm going to be talking about the global drug crisis and why we at the Department of State are involved in this issue at all and why we care. Within the Department of State, I work in the Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, or INL. The State Department, for those of you who don't know, is made up of approximately 50 bureaus, and they're divided into regional and functional bureaus. And while the regional bureaus get a lot of attention for managing our diplomatic relationships with other countries, the functional bureaus cover important global issues like health, counterterrorism, or economic growth. INL focuses on international counter-narcotics affairs and law enforcement. Of course, one of the most critical drug-related threats we're facing right now is the opioid crisis. In 2016, nearly 64,000 Americans died from drug overdoses, and 2/3 of those deaths involved opioids. The crisis is largely fueled by powerful new synthetic opioids like fentanyl. These are many times more potent than traditional opioids. They're often originating overseas, being trafficked to the United States through international mail, and then once they arrive, they're mixed in with the conventional drug supply and sold on the streets, and people in the United States often don't know what they're consuming. Because they originate overseas, the State Department has a role in combating them. Of course, it's not a uniquely U.S. problem. The global trafficking routes for these drugs snake across the entire entire world, and they fuel criminal markets, which are often fueled by the demand for these drugs based on their ability to produce a dependence. That means that treatment is one of the most critical ways that we can approach the global drug crisis. Unfortunately, a lot of people who need treatment don't receive it. In fact, worldwide, 7% of people received what we would call minimally adequate treatment of those that were diagnosed with a substance use disorder in the prior year. So we want to work to improve that. The foundation of a lot of our work is professionalizing the treatment workforce. So we've developed these curricula, which we can use to train the treatment and prevention workforce overseas. And this is an example of one of our curricula. It's the Universal Treatment Curriculum, which covers basically a full suite of evidence-based treatment methods. We've also developed the world's first international membership organization for professionals working in the field of treatment and prevention. The International Society of Substance Use Professionals, or ISUP, hosts global training workshops every year to disseminate these best practices and to build connections between researchers, practitioners, and policymakers. In addition to our workforce development, we work to professionalize treatment services and systems through direct bilateral engagement with policymakers of other nations and with treatment centers. We developed the International Standards for the Treatment of Drug Use Disorders, which is a document that describes the attributes and practices of effective treatment and provides a roadmap for countries to improve their treatment system. So does it work? Well, we've funded independent outcome evaluations of our work overseas to answer that question, and everywhere we've worked, we've found decreases in drug use and associated crime. So while the challenges posed by the global drug crisis are truly monumental, we think we're on the right track. Thank you.